Welcome back. Say hello to Francis Skalicky from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year right back at you, guys.
You know, when Francis shows up, you know there is something going on at the Nature Center or in so many different parts of the department. What's going on?
Well, right now, January 7th, which is this, what is it, Friday?
Friday.
Friday. We have a program coming up about owls, and it's a program we're partnering with Dickerson Park Zoo. We're going to have an indoor component where at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock in the auditorium, people can go there and see owls. Some of the docents from the zoo will have owls there where they can see some of the species. We have owls. In addition to that, we have hikes going on at the Nature Center where people can bring a flashlight, bring a partner if they don't want to hike alone, and there will be stops along the Nature Center trail at night where you can learn more about owls. And the reason we're having this program about owls is because now is when owls are active.
I had no idea. So you're indoors for the first little bit of it, which is a really fun educational part. But then after that, off you go.
I mean, all owls aside, how often do you get to hike the Nature Center trails at night?
At night.
I know.
Yeah.
And I mean, no worries. We will have them patrolled and things like that. But they won't be a guided hike because if you want to listen for owls, you kind of want to go at your own pace. You know, you don't want to say, okay, we got to move on. You want to move at your own pace. And there will be stops along the trail where we will have naturalists that will tell you about the various species of owls we have in Missouri. So, and in addition to the outside part, as I said, the inside part, docents from the Dickerson Park Zoo. So whatever you're hearing outside, you'll be able to see them up close and personal in the auditorium. The docents will bring them, and there you go.
And the amazing thing that I've found about doing something like that, you learn these are not Disney things.
No,
these are fierce predators.
Is this one that we're likely to maybe see?
That is a barred owl. Yes, probably the three most common owls we have in Missouri is that what you're seeing on the screen, a barred owl.
They're so cute.
We have the great horned owl. That's a great horned owl. Another owl we have that's pretty common is a screech owl, somewhat less common. And then we have also a barn owl, B-A-R-N. They're not as common as the other owls, but you will hear them around too. You will not see them as much as hear them. But the thing about owls, I mean, they're cool on so many levels. Number one, how they help us. They're very beneficial. They eat a lot of rats and mice. And the more things we have controlling rats and mice, the less work we have to do.
The better for us.
Exactly.
That's a good thing, yes.
Number two, just the way they're active at night, the adaptations they have. Number one, their eyes are very large. Their eyes make up about 3% of their body weight, which if a human, it's like, I think it's 0.00003. Yeah, it's far less than 1%. But yeah, because their eyes are large, because there's not a lot of light, so they have to take it in what they have. You know, their ears are actually within their facial disc, and it helps focus the sound in so they can hear better.
Yeah, that round look that they have to their
face. So the little tufts are not ears, those are just feathers. The ears are in their facial disc. And they have serrated feathers so they can fly basically silently at night.
They are quiet.
So you know, and the thing is, for so long, there's always been a fascination with owls, even back in ancient cultures where they made sounds at night, they were active at night, so there was this mystery, this foreboding about them. Well, all that is poppycock. But the truth is how beneficial they are and how fascinating and interesting they are.
I like the idea that people think that they can turn their head all the way around.
Oh, that's another. Okay, Tom, I'm glad you mentioned that. They cannot.
They can't?
Yes.
However,
sure looks like it.
They can turn, I think it's about like 270 degrees, but you think 360 is a full circle?
Yeah.
That the reason is because they have these large eyes, they can't move them from side to side like we can. Humans can move their eyes side. Owls' eyes are locked in place, but as a compensation for that, they can turn their head further, a greater degree. So these huge eyes that take in lots of light and lots of sight, they have a greater field of vision than humans do.
Yeah, that's like on a compass turning from south to west all the way
basically,
around,
pretty much.
and there's just that little quarter that's left.
Well, if you think, okay,
So
if a
bizarre.
human could turn, which most can't, but from shoulder to shoulder, that'd be 180 degrees.
Exactly.
One half of
Yeah.
the circle. So like I say, their head motion is like 270, 260, 270
So that would be
degrees.
looking straight and turning your head around and looking over
Right,
your left shoulder.
right.
Yeah.
So those old
Yeah.
Tootsie Pop commercials, they can't turn their head completely around.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty fascinating what they can do.
That's crazy. Now, do you need a reservation for this Friday night?
Yes, you need to call, and you can call 888-4237. You can also do it online. Go to the Department of Conservation website, mdc.mo.gov, and you can make a reservation for
Gotcha.
that. And I will also say, now, obviously, we talked about owls being active. That one night is not the only time that owls are active at this time of year.
Course.
So if you don't make that program, you can also, if you like walking at night, with a partner or something, take a walk around town, take a walk around your farm. It's also a great time to listen for owls, because I said now is the time. This is the equivalent of spring bird song.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like robin singing or cardinal singing, but they are calling for mates. The reason is their egg laying, their nest rearing, it takes a little bit longer, so they have to start earlier.
Okay.
And also, you think, what's the benefit of setting on these cold when
Right.
it's cold? Well, they get nest spaces earlier, so they beat other birds to their nest space.
Okay.
Well, go, but don't wear your mouse costume.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Friday
Francis.
night. Thank you, Francis.
All right, thank you guys.
We'll be right back.